Guys, why did the meatball tell the pasta? What is it? Why did the meatball tell the pasta why did the meatball tell the spaghetti it's time to go to sleep?
Why?
Because it's pasta bedtime.
That's a good one.
I like this format much better. You guys think we can leave it like this?
Rock
I like this. Yeah. Instead of the other thing, we don't have to move around with this. All right.
NightShifters, baby. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. It's been over a month. Sorry to everybody else.
Guys.
I know I've been seeing people putting or people following or checking the page, and I'm just like, oh, we don't have anything this week. But we've all been incredibly busy. Man. Incredibly busy. Yeah, we got incredibly busy. We have our own personal lives. We don't have a set schedule for this. So I am deeply sorry that I can't do this every single week. I would love to. That's if I didn't have any other obligations, Same thing.
It's all your fault, Crystal.
It really is. You know what?
I showed
you can
no
put
blame.
that on me. You can.
I showed her no blame.
You can put that all on me. I am not going to stop you from that. You can blame me for all that.
I did nothing yesterday.
Wait a minute.
Huh. Turns out.
I just want everybody to know. While Rocko, especially coming from the IT guy, you know what happened yesterday.
Yeah, the iPhone broke. You know what I mean?
Hold on, I got iPhone. You gotta relax.
Wow.
I lost my charge.
I don't even know what happened.
When your phone dies, and then you're in the middle of the infield, and I'm trying to enjoy myself, and I get called into duty to work. And then next, I can't even call anyone and let anybody know. I can't do anything because, duty calls. And, I have a problem with saying no. That's my issue.
He said no to everybody. He said he couldn't say no to everybody. He just said no to us.
No, I did not say no to you.
Well, I know you didn't say anything.
What are we... What are we doing right now, this moment?
I know. We made it. Look, the last few weeks, it's all been my fault. I will take
11:09 p.m. Pocono time.
Thank you.
And by the way, just in case anybody's watching this, check out my new Pocono hat. Exclusive, the number 5 car.
Wait a second.
Pocono. Look how they did it. It's pretty dope. Larson.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool how they did that?
That doesn't even seem like a NASCAR hat.
I know. That's why, in those colors.
So those are the mountains of Pocono.
Let me see.
Exactly.
Let me see.
You can't sit there and talk about duty and then talk about a brown hat 2 seconds later.
I can talk about that. I'll get to that later.
So we're in Pocono. We went through Chicago. God, what was the week before that? It has gone by so fast in the last month.
Nashville.
I'm really upset that I missed Nashville. Really upset.
Yeah.
But if anybody knows about Nashville, the funeral that I was at, it was Reverend Lawson. He baptized me, and
sorry for your loss.
Thank you. He was actually responsible for the Nashville sit-ins during the civil rights movement. If you guys know anything about that.
Yes, we know a little something.
Yeah, that was
my grandparents lived that during that time.
Yeah, MLK's right-hand man. He called him the architect of civil rights and the nonviolent movement. So it was a very important funeral to go to. So that is why I missed Nashville, and I'm sorry that I did because I haven't missed it since it's been back. How was that for you guys? Did you guys enjoy it? Yeah.
Nashville was blistering. It was very, very uncomfortable with the heat. It's not a dry heat in Nashville. Let me tell you that. It's not a dry heat.
Oh, we got a die heat out here. Not a dry heat. We got a die heat.
It was bad.
Yeah, it's the same in Nashville. It was bad.
I'll never say that.
And I don't know if it comes with age or what, but I seem to sweat more nowadays. I didn't do that as much, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it was weird, but it was very hot.
was a soggy, sweaty weekend, man, for real.
The race was. Let me
Stop
go
and
back
get
to my
water
catalog.
from one of the
How was
haulers
that
because
race,
I thought I was
Chris?
gonna pass out.
Who won Nashville?
Who did win Nashville? It was rain delayed too, right?
It had the cautions at
Logano.
the end. Logano on it.
Logano.
Oh, I could have had my mustache and my
That's
Logano
your
jacket
guy
on
too.
this week. I know. I was
Yeah.
actually happy to see that finally a points race. He's in the playoffs. That kind of deterred Bubba that week too, right? Because they were like right there.
There's right there on the points.
No, it wasn't. No, it was. Yeah, I'm thinking of. Yeah, it was Logano.
For Nashville, it was, but now
Yes,
that's
it
all
was.
changed, and that's unfortunate. We roll into Chicago, and
shout out to Chicago.
Chicago was a vibe.
So I want to go to Chicago. I have not been.
Of the year now.
Yes.
Is it? Hold on, let's go back. So
why
is it? Why is it your favorite race of the year?
Of the year, favorite.
Why?
Listen,
why?
The city does a great job hosting.
My favorite of the year.
Let's
It's my
slow down.
favorite. It's my favorite of the year. You know, and 4th of July weekend. I mean, it's my favorite of the year.
Okay, so beyond the words, it's my favorite of the year. 4th of July.
Did I mention it was my favorite of the year?
No, not. Go ahead, tell us. Is it the favorite? Is it your favorite race of the year? Okay,
Shot
so
time,
why
baby.
is that? So we go to Chicago. We're doing a street race. This goes. It's so far apart from the road courses and the typical ovals that we visit. So why is this your favorite?
All right, let me give you two perspectives. First perspective, I got to wear my Chicago colorway Jordan 1s, you know, my red and white colorways, and it's just, you know, and to be in the streets of Chicago for NASCAR. Jordan owns a team in NASCAR. You know, first of all, anyways.
So it's your favorite, even though it has rained both years.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna get to my second reason why
let me shut up.
Is okay. We go to a lot of road courses, correct?
Right.
And more than we
like 4, right?
No, more than that. It's about 8. You know?
It really?
Yes.
We got Watkins Glen, Sonoma, Coda. What am I missing?
Roval.
We stopped doing Indy, right?
Yeah, Indy's oval this year.
Then we have Chicago.
We're at 4. That's a street race, not a road course.
Right.
So do we still put that in the same?
No.
Yes, because you turn left and right.
Yeah, well, you can, but I was going to get to why I like Chicago now, because it does differentiate between the road courses I've seen. There's another skill set involved, and SVG has exploited that, which is why.
Man, I thought he was going to win again too. Woo!
Yep. And the whole race was his race to lose, in my opinion, but it shows you how hard it is to win in the NASCAR Cup Series, especially when you're the favorite. You're supposed to win, which makes it even more special when you're able to do it. When you're expected to walk in and win, you're the favorite, you're supposed to win, and you do it. I mean, that's really dope, but it's very, very hard. SVG showed that because, I mean, he took the blame for the incident of Briscoe and yada, 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 but that just shows you everything has to happen right, from the crew chief, from the pit crew, from the driver, from a little bit of luck, or whatever the case may be. Everything has to come together and align to win at the Premier Series. And, you know, Chicago chewed him up and spat him out, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, Alex Bowman was where he needed to be. So I thought it was pretty cool. And the fact that Bowman needed to win, you know, he was on a bit of the hot seat, in a bit of a slump.
It's been a while.
Winless streak. It might have been like 80 races or something. It was
I also think that like the way that he's won in the past too has kind of contributed to this whole thing. Like whether he could do it without just happening to be in the right time in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, let's go back to this SVG guy.
Yeah.
Man, listen. He put on a clinic over the weekend between
on the Xfinity race.
Xfinity practice, Xfinity race, Cup practice, right? Like he put on a straight up clinic on how to maneuver these cars around street courses, road courses, however you want it, what category you want to put them in. He was lights out. Yeah, like he was doing things with that car.
That footwork
and setting up angles and overtakes and, you know, passing in corners or off corners. It was a hell of a show.
Is that a bad look for guys, not only in the Cup Series, but also in the Xfinity Series, when you get somebody who comes from a different discipline, essentially, although this is like this is right in his alley, but like,
but he's not the first one though. He's not the first one. Marcus Ambrose put on road course clinics, right? So he's not the first to do it. But here's,
go ahead.
Yeah. But he's doing it in these new cars, and these new cars I think are very, very similar.
They're very similar to what he already drove. Yeah,
right.
That we knew.
Right.
Is that a cheat? Is that a cheat?
Yep. And it's a cheat code, and it's not even up to the same level of what he was driving, y'all.
Yeah.
I did my own little snooping and researching and asking around in Chicago because what makes him so special. Brake bias. Let me give you an example of what brake bias is. It's the way, simply put, for the drivers to control the amount of pressure that the brakes are inputting into the car at different left rear, right front, left front. You get what I'm saying? So you can be like, when I press the brake, I want more power to go to the left front. I want more power to go to the rear, whatever the case may be. You can get really, really specific. All right. Long story short, I was told the average NASCAR driver, the OG, triple OG, wins everything. Your Jeff Gordon of NASCAR, typically they might mess with their brake bias 2 to 5 times a lap on 12 turns. Okay. Australian supercar driver like SVG, and their cars, the technology involved with their cars, they're able to maneuver and get into the minutia of the brake biases a lot more than what our cars are capable of. So it's kind of dumbed down to him. He changes. A driver like him would change the brake bias within a typical the same amount of laps of another NASCAR driver, probably 15 to 20 times. So, I mean, the control that he's seeking and trying to achieve each and every turn is just way more advanced than any other driver is used to. So why wouldn't he win? Now, what I like to see is the fact that, okay, he has this advantage in his skill set. He still didn't win the damn race. Right?
Well, that comes down to incident, right?
No, it doesn't come down to incident. The race is not won in the first 20 laps, Crystal. This is the Premier Series, and our races are longer on Sundays. They're more pressure built. You have better competition, and you cannot win in the first half of the race. So you can be the best driver ever, but learning how to manage and put together a full race, no matter how talented you are, is not about just what's behind the wheel. You have to get that real race experience, and the burn of losing a race you're supposed to win like that. You best believe when we go back to Chicago next year, SVG will still be the damn favorite. Okay.
Do you think it's gonna rain next year?
I hope not.
Because I really do think that plays a big role in that race, and we have yet to see the Chicago street course without rain and without tires.
How can we predict? I mean, how can we help that?
We can't, but I'm just saying, like, it's just been so like back to back, rain out race, and for some reason I would still go. I don't have a problem. I hate rain. By the way, it's raining here. I hate it, but I would fly to Chicago to see a Chicago street race in the rain. I have no problem with that. I thought it was a whole vibe, and for the whole weekend, aside from the race, you guys also, it's a huge party, which I think is the element that's missing from your traditional race at the tracks that we go to on the circuit normally. I think that in the past, not that I was there, but I've done enough homework to know that when people went to races historically, it was a party. And there were way more things going on than just, you walk up and have the fan zone. I feel like there was a lot more going on. I could be wrong. You guys let me know, but I really do think that actually makes a race way more entertaining. Like, a race used to actually just be part, and this may be before NASCAR, but a race used to be a portion of a larger fair. Am I wrong?
No, that's why you had like the Nashville Fairgrounds with a racetrack at the fairgrounds.
So I think Chicago is one of those races that's actually bringing back a lot of that entertainment. And it's not just like a little like rinky-dink concert before the race. Like, you have a whole music festival in Chicago. They had Bubba Wallace's block party, right? What else did they have going on in that city? The whole weekend is full of fun.
They had 7,500 people confirmed for the block party. But you know what? The views of the hospitality there. Last year we went. Okay, they had hospitality set up all throughout in the rain. Yes. Okay, so what I was most impressed was how we came back, how they logistically and creatively thought out how to make it better. They had a hospitality that was on average $150,000 to rent out for the weekend for the top level. The
This is
middle
for Chicago.
in Chicago,
Okay.
it was a 3-tiered structure that had views. When you went out onto your balcony, you had the racetrack, then you had the fountain, then you had the lake with the yachts in it. You looked like you were in Monaco, but you were in Chicago. It was crazy that perspective, So then you had that level, then below it, you had a whole nother level where it was about $3,500 a ticket, just the standing room only. And then you had a whole nother tier beneath that. So the vibes were very Formula One-esque, IndyCar-esque, and this is a NASCAR race in the middle of the city. NASCAR, Chevy, Toyotas, and Fords. So I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm actually glad to hear you say something about F1 because I know you're not an
I'm a
F1.
hater. No, I'm not.
I know you're not an F1 fan. I know.
No.
But when I went to the race here in Vegas,
but their vibes and the hospitality is like no other, even though they charge too damn much.
Yes, wow.
Too expensive.
Hey, they even had suites on the backstretch. Lakeshore
when you buy that $3,500 ticket, are they also getting food and drinks?
Yes,
like
it's
unlimited.
Food up there. Yeah.
I think that's worth it.
It was dope. It was just a good energy for a NASCAR race that we're unfamiliar with. That industry people look forward to going to.
Do you think that's something they could bring to cities like LA where you don't have the infrastructure for a track? No. I mean a street race in LA. Do you think that's possible?
Yes, we've already proven that. NASCAR has proven that, and they have the young, energetic. I like what that. I like the young energy and the leadership in NASCAR and how they forward thinking. I've already had rumors of, we're racing in Mexico City.
That's what I heard.
They got Montreal coming up. They're looking of other venues to have street races at that are exciting. So at the end of the day, I think we're in a good place in that regard.
So do you think that they're going? Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, I think with the Montreal thing, that might get paused because of the series, the Xfinity series. I think there's some conflict of interest.
Mexico City is what I meant to say.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, wait, what were you talking about, Chris, with Montreal and the Xfinity series?
The Montreal doesn't want Xfinity plastered all over their city because that's not their service provider.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, so that's the holdup about going back to Montreal.
Is that really what it is? Like they can't just change it for the week? I feel like with their sponsor, I just think
about the Cup Series. Just go.
There you go.
Hey, bring them back or take them there for the first
time. Because there are weeks. There's plenty of weeks when they have the series racing in different places.
I also heard we might be off on Easter. That's what I'm hearing in the streets.
What was Easter? The Bristol dirt race before, right? What was it this year?
Yeah,
we just never had a Easter off in a long time that I can remember.
It's been a long time.
Do you really want an Easter off?
We've been racing Mother's Day.
When I hear that, when I hear Easter off,
I
hear that we're breaking tradition. We are evolving as a sport. The schedule isn't mandated around like religious holidays and ideas anymore. It's a sport. That's how I see it.
Well, I think that
the case.
Yeah, I do think that if you have Easter off or I don't want to say religious holidays, but let's just go with like a weekend holiday. I think as a business, it's probably wiser to take those weekends and capitalize on them because you can still be with family and doesn't just go to a NASCAR race as that weekend.
The NBA does it. They have games on,
Yeah. Christmas Day,
right? Thanksgiving.
You got Thanksgiving. You got one of the biggest NFL games in the year, in the season.
When non-athletes, are off, entertainers and athletes are entertaining, and that's when they're off to watch.
What are they doing on Easter weekends when they have the races? Are they having like a big Easter egg hunt and stuff?
Yes, they do.
They do for the kids. They do for the
kids. Because as an adult,
activities.
What do you even when you think about Easter as an adult? Like, what's the worst? I mean, not worst. What's the normal thing to do? I think as an adult, Easter you just go to church. Which
that's if you celebrate, if you
if you haven't been to church the whole year, you show up for Easter and Christmas, and then you've paid your dues. If you grew up in a family church, that's what you do.
Candy. That's when I got my candy because we didn't buy candy
from church. You get them from the old ladies
Halloween
and their little purses.
And Easter.
Well, churches don't normally like to celebrate Halloween. like
I'm
that.
just saying when I got my candy. That's the only time I could eat candy is on the holidays.
Are you serious? Like like growing up in general?
I mean, in my house, no. My grandma didn't buy it. She made baked goods.
She didn't have like Werthers in her purse?
Or
was it peppermints in her purse?
No, she had Werthers. The caramel Werthers, but we couldn't eat them. She would pinch me.
Those are the only place you get them from. You get them from a grandma. You can't get them from the store.
And you got to get the peppermints from the lady at the church.
Okay, you guys grew up a little bit earlier than I did, but we had the peppermints, we had the Werthers, and we had it was like this Lifesavers cream. It was the cream savers. You ever get those?
Yep.
Or was
cream savers? Oh, with the orange. Oh, the orange cream savers.
Yuck.
Oh, I love those.
That's strawberry.
No,
I thought that. Oh, and the little strawberry candies. There's not even a name for those.
No, those are nasty. The wrapper
in the
was
strawberry
always
wrapper.
The wrapper was always sticky. Those were nasty.
Oh, that means that's been in their purse for a while.
You know the air always got into that wrapper.
You never got them new, Rocko. That's the.
They weren't airtight.
You got old candy.
It's like eating candy corn.
Yuck.
Well, let's go back to Chicago. How was that for you, Chris? Because you didn't really get to talk about that much. You just talked about how SVG put on a clinic, and then that was it.
Chicago was fun. Like I said last year, the city put on a really good hosting event. It was a vibe. You go out to dinner, you hear people talking about how well it was put together. It was talking about the concerts, the shows, the vendors. You know, the locals was talking about our jam, not knowing that we was there working it, right? So that has a lot of value. Right. To the product that we put on, you know. So hats off to Chicago. I like it. Let's go back.
Yeah, I honestly think that even the city's reception of it was pretty good. How are the stands? Like, how do they have it set up? Do they have like certain turns where they have seating, like an F1 race?
So you got to remember,
did it seem packed? Did it seem packed?
It was definitely packed. You know, so you got to remember we're in Grant Park, so there was a lot of space for a lot of fans. There was a lot of space for a lot of vendors to engage and do their activations. What
about camping? They can't do that, huh?
No camping. You're still in this downtown, so I don't think you can pitch tents downtown, right?
I think that's the only downside. So if you go to Chicago for the race weekend, you have to either know somebody that lives within the area
or hotels.
And I'm sure the hotel prices are skyrocketing at that time.
Yeah, they do jack them up.
That's kind of unfortunate, to be honest. I think the whole campgrounds thing is something that's so significant to NASCAR that's going to be a bit of a loss.
But you can't camp downtown, you know, so that changes the whole scope of the vibe right there.
Interesting.
We've already shut down, downtown for over a holiday weekend. Then you want to bring campers in there too?
Yeah, that's not a good look.
I was just thinking, I was like, maybe they have a designated spot because there are those people that love to take those. Those are those family vacations.
The family vacations, but you got to think of what Chicago is. Those the museums, the parks, and like you know what intrigued me the most about Chicago? Every time I woke up around 10 a.m. or 11, those 4 days I was there, I guess what people do in their free time in that area is walk. They sit there and just go walk around the lake. And there's people riding there. They sit in the That's what they do every day. I could tell they were coming down to the city to go walk around the lake and hang out. That's what they did the 4 days I was there.
I forgot y'all don't live in the city. Y'all live in the country.
Yeah, we're in the suburbs.
Yeah, we're in the burbs. We burbs.
Lake
the city. We love to walk. You want to make sure that you have even when I was looking for a place to live, a walk.
You just said that, but then you talking about bringing in the campers in.
Well, I was curious because they also had Chicagoland Speedway, and what about those families that came out and wanted to?
That's Joliet.
That was Joliet. That was way
out. How far away is that?
That's like an hour outside the city.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're just doing this all over where we say we're in a city and we're not really in a city.
Not even close.
Because that was one of the biggest coming to LA. I got pissed off. This is the first race I ever covered. I did the Clash. It was the Clash at the Coliseum for the first year that they did it. And we're sitting in the media center and there were, publications there like the LA Times and just local LA media. And people were asking questions over and over again about like, oh, since this is the first time that NASCAR is LA, Kyle Busch gets up there and he's like, we've been coming to LA for years. And I was just like,
Fontana.
First of all,
Ontario.
Not
And it was so weird to hear that from him because he's from Vegas. I think he was born in like Bakersfield or Baker or something like that, which is still the boondocks compared to all the other cities. But the thing about LA, that's like that cousin that's like, oh, we were in LA. And then you ask them exactly where in LA they went.
Why are we getting hung up on that? Why are we getting hung up on that?
Because I'm LA. LA. No.
Too
Fontana.
Too many people out there.
Listen, Fontana is San Bernardino. That's not even LA.
Don't matter.
As big as yes, it does. You're not going to tell that to somebody from Los Angeles ever.
Hey, well, you're not going to tell that to somebody. You're not going to tell that to somebody from every other state they're from. This is what I want everybody from all these states who think that they're from the poppin' city.
Okay, what else does?
I want to put you.
What else does Illinois have?
Let me kill all of this debate. It don't matter. It don't matter what city you're from. Okay, you were taught 50 states when you were in high school, and if you can't remember the cities of all them 50 states, you are from that damn state. Okay.
That sounds like poor education. California. That sounds poor education.
From California.
Don't even start.
LA,
okay, so then in that case, you're just from the South.
I'm from Georgia.
The South.
ATL shouted.
The South.
Stone Mountain, Georgia. ATL shouted.
The South. You're just from the South. None of those cities matter then in that case.
Chris, where you from?
Argument.
He's from the borough where it's thorough.
What did you just say? The borough where it's thorough.
The borough where it's thorough.
Greensboro. Yeah. The borough west.
No, ain't no west in there.
What did you say? The borough.
He's from North Carolina.
Yeah, throw your hands up.
North Carolina.
Where it's thorough.
Where it's thorough.
Where it's thorough.
Where it's thorough. Good Lord.
Yo ass from California, Crystal. Get over it.
Yeah, we got to slow it down for it.
You're from California.
Yeah, we take our time. We chill.
Not everybody. Shoot. Baby,
somebody said
Baby Boy. I seen the movie Baby Boy.
That's a movie.
Somebody said with mamas the whole time.
Somebody in Texas said I had a perma high. I said, what is that? And he's like, well, I guess it's because you're from LA. You just take your time with everything. Like, you're not slow. It just sounds like you're high all the time. I'm like, I don't smoke.
It's like Keanu Reeves and Gone with 60 Seconds or whatever.
That's an old folks movie.
What's the bus?
How's that old?
That's the bus. With the bus, that's Speed, isn't it?
Yeah, Speed. That's it.
With
that's Keanu Reeves. That's the Cali vibes. Anytime I want to think of a Cali person, I think of Keanu Reeves. And he's surfer boy. Yeah, dude. Chill.
Yeah, we're kind of like that.
Yeah. What's up?
All right, so how are the pit crews? What was the pit crew?
Backwards pit stops. Very slow and meticulous.
I didn't even think about that.
Pit road was wet. It was, luckily pit stops weren't a priority at the Chicago. They could do it on maybe 2 stops.
Yeah, I think the schedule was 2 stops if it went green. Right.
Well, we also had to worry about the rain tires too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're the tire specialist, Justice. This is like the first time, not the first time, but I guess in this era, this is the first time that we really truly get to see any kind of rain tires, right?
Yeah. But you can't run them technically in the rain anymore, right?
It's only if it's wet.
Only if it's wet.
So we don't call them rain tires, just call them wet tires.
Wet tires. Yeah. So the whole deal like we had in Coda where we was running in the pour down rain, the high Rooster's Tails, they got away from that just for safety reasons. Because you can't see behind you, right? So after 3rd place, you're junk. You don't know what you got in front of you. So those tires gotta be damp, gotta be wet. The more it dries, the worse they get. They start to chunk and clunk, and basically degrade, right? So that's why you saw under the cautions they would go through the puddles, right? They put the left sides in the puddles. They'll find the water to keep those tires cool, keep the life in them.
So how do they know when it's time to change them back to just your regular?
They start slipping and sliding and vibrating. They feel it.
Vibrating. They feel in the wheel. They feel in the steering wheel.
That booty.
And obviously, and the track to tell you, right? So when we're looking at the coverage and you see the dark versus the gray spots or light gray spots.
I was going to say there's different spots of the track that are wet and different spots of the track that are dry. So at what point does a crew chief decide like, hey, we need to switch the tires? It's not just the slipping around, right?
Now you're getting into the minutia of what makes people great and ordinary.
Right.
Well, then there you go.
Now we're
talk about that.
By the way, my Uber Eats is 6 minutes away.
Now we're
excited.
Now we're into those things that make those Hall of Fame crew chiefs, right?
Okay. Yes, and those relationships.
Yeah. So it's more than just saying, hey, it looks dry. You got to get your driver feedback, right? What's the rest of the track? What's the overall track conditions, right? So it's more than just.
I don't care what
one particular setting.
There's some drivers who just won't be able to get that. Now, Joey Hand, when he had the lead, and he had
first of all, well, we're gonna have to go back to this Joey Hand guy because I was not paying attention. I'll be honest, I wasn't paying attention the whole week. But go ahead and finish what you're gonna say, and then I'll bring up Joey Hand.
Well, Joey Hand is, I think he's a street racer, or he's done it before. He has a unique skill set himself compared to the other NASCAR drivers. When he had those rain tires on, he was maneuvering the wet to the dry, looking for the puddles. He explained that very meticulously, I thought, in his interview. He was like, when you have these tires up, you got to cool them down, just like what Chris said. Now, just in my opinion, from watching certain drivers, there are some drivers out here, maybe because it's lack of equipment, experience, or know-how, or confidence, but if they have some rain tires on, they ain't searching for the wet and trying to do all of that. They just trying to ride around until it's time to take these bad boys off. Okay, the presence of mind and the level of awareness to do that is what separates the drivers from other drivers, So at the end of the day, that's just not something that should be taken for granted that everybody can do.
I think Joey Hand also won the 24-hour Rolex race in Daytona.
Oh,
that's where he came from. It was IMSA.
You see what I'm saying?
I knew I recognized the name, but I'm just like, I didn't even know he was in the race until
you know
he
what the
was
biggest
in
difference
first.
are from road course racing to the street course racing? The 90-degree turns is what I noticed a lot.
Where did that even come from just now?
That street course. Because I was just thinking, the road course
like
racing.
we were talking about Joey Hand. You know what? 90-degree turn. What?
Because Joey Hand and his skill set, and you said he's driving IMSA in those cars.
I needed to know where the connection was. I was so lost. You just
we're used to those sweeping turns in a road course, left and right, but they're sweeping turns. They're not sharp, aggressive 90-degree turns with borders around it.
Do you think that we'll ever bring the Cup race back to the Daytona Street race? Because we did it one year for the Clash, right? Was that 2020?
You better look that up.
2021. Christopher Bell won. No,
Daytona
I lied.
Race?
No. Daytona road course. Daytona road course. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
I said street. See,
inside.
I told you there's a difference between road and street. Don't even. But wait, that was what 2021. I think. I take it back. I think it was Kyle Busch that won because Blaney and.
Where's Adam at when we need him?
I know. I think it was Blaney and Chase Elliott wrecked, and then from third, the catbird seat. I think that's 2021. I'm gonna look it up. Give me a second.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't remember that race.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Damn, we really do need Adam.
Adam, we miss you.
Yeah.
Where was this? Daytona 500. No. Busch Clash, Daytona Road Course. Boom. 2021.
2021. You were right, Kristen.
I knew I wasn't making this up. Usually I have terrible memory. Like I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you who won 3 weeks ago, let alone where we were 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was the Clash before. Okay, yeah, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott. They crashed coming around the last turn, and Kyle Busch took the win. But do you ever think they would go back and do just a regular race there for points?
I wouldn't say they wouldn't, I don't.
Would you want to see that?
I wouldn't want to see that because we do Daytona already. We do Daytona twice a year. With I want to go somewhere where we haven't.
You think people would get mad if they removed that fall race, the season finale, and changed it to the road course?
People, we're the ones that are putting on the show.
And who's got to watch the show?
And they will. They've proven that already. They're watching everything we do.
Speaking of watching everything we do, Bubba Wallace is always being watched. Okay, so on the cool down lap of the Chicago street race, Bubba Wallace, who was, infuriated from something that happened before the red flag due to the rain. They're on the cool down lap. You got Alex Bowman, who just won the race. Bubba is still steaming, and he bumps into the door of Alex Bowman on the cool down lap.
Oh, man.
Alex doesn't. Alex doesn't, say anything. He's like, "Oh, I'd understand," because
he already knows.
He's just a nice. He's left it in the hands of NASCAR.
Gotcha.
He's like, I understand.
They
but
all know that rule.
He also tried to apologize to Bubba during the red flag, and apparently he didn't get back to him. So I don't think Bubba was around for any comment after the race, but he definitely got fined $50,000 for it.
That's a great.
But people are also saying that Chase Elliott and Daniel Suarez had something going on too, and I didn't see what actually happened. I just heard that they were
did it
talking.
Too. He did something similar,
Yeah, but did he also get the fine, or are they still just talking?
He did not get the fine.
Why? What's the difference?
You have to take into account,
it's
previous
Chase Elliott.
record. First of all, it's Chase Elliott. Second of all, you look at Bubba record, his track record. His previous track record, he's already been known to get road rage, I like to call it, and to get emotional. And
yeah, that's true.
That pisses me off that he's like that a little bit. Like, I understand it, but
and I know people like that, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not trying to say anything.
I hate that for him, is what I mean.
Guess what? It was the leader. It was the leader when he won. The window net is down. What happened if he was looking at it and you did it right there? It was just poor timing. It happens.
Do you not remember when Denny Hamlin ruined Alex Bowman's burnout?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Did he ever get fined for that?
It's time and place.
I don't think so.
No.
So why would that not be a problem?
It was
that was
time.
Crazy. That was only a couple years ago.
That's a different time.
Yeah, but he didn't really bump him like that though, did he? Denny Hamlin. When he ruined the burnout.
No,
right? He didn't.
But that's the thing. It's already after he won. He had no business being there, and then he get right in front of him.
But Bubba purposely, boom. I mean, went into him.
Yeah, that was actually pretty rough.
Aggressively.
Like I said, I like to play devil's advocate.
And knocked him into the wall.
Yeah, I love to play devil's advocate with you guys because.
And especially with the window net down. Now it's a safety thing, right?
I'm chronically online. So I see these arguments in the posts. People love to argue on the internet, no matter how smart and dumb they are. They just love to argue. So I always like to bring up those points. I hope nobody out there is really thinking that this is what's on my mind, because it really isn't. I see it. Probably didn't even have to say that, but it's nice to have your input. And Chris, I always feel like you're a voice of reason. Rocko, you're also a voice of reason, but sometimes you like to go off the handle.
Because I'm a high-head. I am.
I love that. You got.
I don't blame Bubba for what he did. It was just
I don't think anybody does. It was just a bad choice to make.
It was a poor timing, but you got to send that message too. The playoffs about to start. He's trying to fight his way in. And you can't be punked around in the playoffs. And sometimes you got to send. Sometimes you got to F around and find out.
What else could he have done? Instead of waiting multiple he saved it for another race?
Next week, right here
next week.
And it's not the first time he's done something to Alex Bowman either. I remember he threw Powerade in his face or something.
A lot of people mess with Bowman.
Why? Because he doesn't do anything?
He's an easy target. He's on an 80 race winless streak and just broke it. You don't go on an 80 race winless streak, not get him over.
Yeah, he's an easy target for a while.
Especially when you're in a Hendrick car, because everybody else was winning.
Yeah, well, now all of their cars are in the playoffs.
And shout out to the pit crew.
Today.
Shout out to the 48
do your shout out. Sorry,
because
you need to shout them out.
There, there's some dogs on pit road now, and they got it. When you don't win races, sometimes your performance gets overlooked by the ones that are winning races. So I'm glad they're in the conversation now, that 48 team.
So do you feel like now that he's won, if you look back, do you think that any of these 80 losses or 80 whatever races Do you think that the pit crew has been standout all along, that they've been overlooked, or do you think that they had
There's
some kind
peaks
of
and valleys in this?
Okay. Yeah, it's peaks and valleys. They still been competitive. Like he still got top 10s, top 5s.
Right.
He hadn't been finishing 30th, for 80 races. Right. So the team itself, the pit crew, crew chief.
How long has this pit crew been with him?
Since he's been with that. No, they were the previous 48 team. And then they mixed Brand. They've been together all last year and this year.
Okay. So that's enough time to like develop a cohesive bond, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, they do have, and they have a great relationship with their driver. If you notice, when Alex Bowman won, and he posted, what he did after.
He was gonna, at 6 o'clock in the morning. Boy, I was going to bed.
And that happened. And guess who was right there with him?
All the pickers,
his pit crew guys, and his team. So that was, at the end of the day, I liked seeing that because you lose as a team through the ups, through the downs. You persevere, and that's why we do this every week for that chance to finally win.
Right. And I think this is F1, but in the same day, we saw Lewis Hamilton kill a streak.
Finally.
Finally. So I think everybody can like relate to those emotions when you're working so hard and you just, you're getting to this point where it's like, all right, do I just hang it up or do I just think that this is how it's going to go for the rest of the time? And you finally get that win. It feels good.
Imagine if Lewis Hamilton was in NASCAR.
And what?
Imagine if Lewis Hamilton raced in NASCAR instead of Formula One full time.
You know how much I'd love to see that?
Imagine how many championships he would have had. Imagine, because think about it.
How many would he have?
Formula One robbed him from 2 just being racist and stupid.
Well, hold on. One of them was just from Red Bull cheating.
Yeah, whatever the case. That's why I was very turned off to Formula One. Just in the way they treated Lewis Hamilton, as a champion. I just thought that was very disrespectful.
Well, I think we'll see something different now that he's moving over to Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, he is.
They gave him.
I like to see a resurgence. I would like to see a resurgence of Lewis.
So we might make a F1 fan out of you, Rocko.
Well, it doesn't matter because if Ferrari is destined to win that
he's
series,
still not going to watch.
That's just how it is. It's just that's so stupid.
Do you really think that he? Do you really think
there's
that
no
he would?
human performance involved? There's less.
Yeah, because everything is automatic. They have those 1 second 30.
I don't like
DRS system they got.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like human performance.
Fair enough. What was I going to ask? Shit, I forgot.
Sorry.
Oh, no, going back to Lewis Hamilton and being in NASCAR, how many championships do you think he would have had? Because we've seen Formula One drivers come over to NASCAR, and I think only, one of them has really been
Pablo
that.
Did. And if they want to hate on Pablo
how
so much, he would be champion.
Okay. And then before that, you had Andretti, right? But then nowadays you have I think Kimi Räikkönen has come in and raced.
Yeah, he came in, but he wasn't too
Button
good.
has also raced.
Nah, he wasn't too good. He was all right.
But that's a champion. That's an F1 champion. So isn't that kind of crazy? Like, do you really think Lewis Hamilton would come over to NASCAR and dominate the way that you're saying he would? He would have multiple championships, is what you're saying.
If he started out and never did Formula One, he'd probably have one less than Jeff Gordon.
Wow.
That's a pretty big statement there, Rob.
Yeah, let's hear more about that. Why do you think that's so?
Because the skill set, Lewis's story, starting out as early as he did, but just in the Formula One, is very similar to the same way our elite drivers did in NASCAR's version. So if you just take the Formula One aspect of it out, insert him to the Jeff Gordon trajectory, and have him come up that line, the Lewis Hamilton,
I think it's a tough assessment to make because it's a different car. Any of the F1 drivers that have come into NASCAR and driven those cars.
But they're not Lewis Hamilton.
I'm just
saying.
They
also don't come in. What he's saying is they don't come in off the career path. They go run F1 and then they come over.
Instead of going the other way around. So
yes. If he started out that way.
Who do you think would be like the Lewis Hamilton of NASCAR if they were to come through now?
SVG is. He's doing it now.
So. But he already had a different discipline. You gotta pick somebody like a kid now. if you really want to see that career, because you've already SVG has had another career in something else.
LeVar Scott.
Okay, that makes more sense to me.
Rajah Caruth, LeVar Scott. Hendrick has already co-signed Rajah Caruth and anointed him.
That we know.
So all he has to do is just finish these races
and
earn, so he can perform in the equipment
so he can move up
that he has now, because he has never had these tools like he has now through the Hendrick power. So
I also think he's got the right personality, and I say this not to put any other drivers down, but I think sometimes when you look at the stable of drivers that you have right now, you don't have the same kind of dynamic personalities that you did back in the day. And I think it's damaging. And look, they don't have to, I give everybody props for being themselves, and not forcing them into the limelight. But I really do feel like that aspect is, good God, put your microphone off. Rocco's over here making mukbang videos.
That boy grubbing. He grubbing.
I'm up here trying to talk, and all I hear
is he was getting down and dirty with it.
Oh, but yeah, I feel like the personality, that edge is kind of missing. And I think Raj has got it. Like just talking to him.
I think LeVar Scott's got it too.
I've never met LeVar Scott.
Listen, he's got some charisma. He's got
That's
some
what we
swag.
need. Don't even say charisma. Now we got to say Riz.
Okay, Riz.
We're old. We can't just throw our age out there like that. We got to say Riz.
You know why I like them both? Because Rajah is that DC, Washington, where LeVar is that New Jersey. Hardworking family owns a truck service, dirt racer in the country of New Jersey, because you don't think country when you think of New Jersey.
Well, it's nothing in New Jersey.
I think his family did some drag racing too, right, LeVar?
I think it's just small. Yeah. Oh, he's been in drag racing?
His mother.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. His mother.
Okay, so he's just you're teaching me
a great story. It's a great story. And it's going to be Rajah first, then LeVar.
After LeVar, what about little cute old Nathan Lyons? He's so adorable. He's a grown man right now, by the way.
There's a slew of them.
Let me tell you, I remember seeing Nathan Lyons, and he was like a little kid. This is 2022, 23. But his voice was like, I'm Nathan Lyons. And then he came back the next year. He was like, I'm Nathan Lyons. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so crazy. Well, that'll be lovely to see. I also think that, going back to the Chicago race, that also opens the door for a lot of new eyes on the sport. People, kids are impressionable, and having that come to the city, that's a very important thing. Because if you're talking about something being all the way in Joliet, like,
nah, nobody going out there. There was a lot of kids. There was a lot of families. You saw they took the time, right, to come out and check us out.
How many first time fans did we see? Do you know? Did they have a number out?
They did. They did have a number out, and they said it a few times. Well, at the concert, the Chainsmokers concert, which was crazy. It was just a big turnout. They asked the crowd, if this is your first time coming to a NASCAR event and you're just coming here for the first time and you heard about it. I mean, the whole crowd raised their hand up and yelled out.
I didn't know that.
So that was pretty cool.
All right. Well, we're getting close to the end here. I did not curate a full list of memes, but I sent you one earlier, Rocko, and I said this one wins. I didn't send it to Chris, so this will be new for him. I just got to pick the winner this time. So give me 1 second to send it to my computer.
And oh no. The celebration into the wall, but Alex Bowman's happy. Locked into the playoffs, and Bubba Wallace decides to, remember
that doesn't look as awful. I said that one wins. I'm sorry. I didn't want to pick any other ones.
You did. All right, that's a good one.
I don't know. You saw the caption at the very beginning, though, right? Where it just said,
watching the NASCAR race
in the Deep South.
Where we're from.
Yeah, the South.
We can agree.
Yeah.
So now we have it. We didn't need Adam. I did a good job, guys.
Yeah.
Knock it out for me. Yay.
You did.
You get it, girl.
All right. Well, I think we'll be okay. To go next week.
Yep. Right. Where are we racing?
Indy.
Yeah, and then you
Indy
guys
Oval
off for the next 2 weeks. I have Friday off, so we'll be able to do another recording unlike the last month. I'm sorry.
I am a Brickyard champion, so
hey, I got 2 of them champions.
Ooh, why does Chris always has something over you?
We're excited to be back at the Oval. Hey, let's wear our Brickyard rings next week.
You got it, bud. I'm gonna wear mine.
Oh, you guys talked about. Can you guys show the rings on the podcast?
Yeah. We'll show them.
Yeah, I've only seen the Daytona 500 ring, so
I got my pillows. I got my pillows. That we nailed
on. You get a Crown Royal pillow, big old pillow.
What?
It's almost like a body pillow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How many of you have? You have 2 of them, Chris?
I have 1 pillow, 2 rings.
Oh dang! I was like,
I got a pillow. I got 2 bricks.
I got a brick too. I got 2 actual bricks from the
You guys gotta kiss the bricks.
From the original track, I got a brick.
Wow.
Yep. That's some cool ass shit.
Do they have them like locked away in a cellar and like if you win?
No, they was in a creek.
Yeah.
Oh, you dig them out?
The creek.
Yeah, the locals had them.
Oh.
Yeah, the locals had them.
Can I purchase one?
So they dug them up and they dumped them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is this what happened?
Can I purchase
one? You gotta go
one?
get it. You have to go out to the lake and get it yourself.
That sounds like a lot of work. Well, maybe when I make it out to Indy, I'll grab one.
Yeah, Indy's cool.
You can find me at St. Elmo's.
Oh,
is that a bar?
Cocktail shrimp.
That cocktail shrimp.
What?
Elmo's.
Yeah, St. Elmo's is bussin'.
Is that a bar?
No, it's a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
I can see it now.
But it's not like a little red guy.
It's a shrimp the size of your head, and they have this. They have this sauce that is
this cocktail sauce that opens your nostrils.
I need that.
It'll make you cry.
Yeah.
Oh, like it's tears of joy.
The whole
so good. Yeah, it's so good.
Dang. Well, thank you guys for the nice hour that you've brought
midnight.
to me.
It's officially Night Shifters. It's midnight.
It's been Night Shifters. We never do this stuff during the day.
Oof. Never.
That's why I had to take a nap.
This is when the music starts playing.
Right. And you have to say your listen something. I'm bad at that one.
Make sure you listen to our podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Spotify, Apple, iTunes.
And if you're happy enough to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube too.
And make sure you subscribe and hit that like button.
Hit that like button.
Subscribe.
Like.
Boom, the music starts now.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Adam.